Afternoon or morning VC, Aris here with another video about bouncing back. Tough week for the British. Our institutions are crumbling. Turns out Boris Johnson might have been partying all the way through lockdown. Who saw that coming? Prince Andrew possibly has to face trial for being trafficked underage girls. But the thing that's really set Britain agog is multiple vinyl tags for 2022. It's a nation divided. The anger is insane. I was watching one the other day. The youngest people of the VC, or the youngest members of the VC vinyl tag, which piqued my interest. I'm not being funny, but calling yourself the youngest member of the VC, it seems to me a little bit akin to calling yourself the whitest member of the Wu-Tang Clan. It's not. The bar's quite low. It's not. It's not the big. If Joe Biden starts doing videos and showing his Rush albums, he'll be the 5th youngest member of the VC, I imagine. It's not a hotbed of youth, is it? The VC, is that fair to say? That's all I'm saying. It's not. By the way, Joe's asked me to say, can you, if you want to, Joe_Biden, left of the dial is his channel. He's a great lad. He's into tech step and grime. Good bloke, but yeah, pop over there, give him a like and subscribe. Mini albums or EPs. My feelings have always been, despite someone who's probably shown 465 albums in the last year, bands shouldn't really make albums. EPs, mini albums, that's the way it goes. Brilliant, isn't it? You've got 20 minutes to play with. Get your best tunes out there. They tend to come at the start of the career of any band, so they're all young and hungry and brilliant. And yeah, they haven't got sort of dragged down by the music industry at this point. So I've got some of my favourite EPs or mini albums to show. First up, this is a great one, isn't it? Chronic Town by R.E.M. Hit the ground running. It's all just killer on here, isn't it? My favourite's A Million. Last track on it, but yeah, Stumble, Wolves Lower, Gardening at Light, fantastic stuff. Kind of like a compact version of Murmur. I mean, I love Murmur as well. Murmur's probably my favourite R.E.M. album, but yeah, Chronic Town is fantastic, love it. And Peter Buck on fire, and he's a fantastic guitarist. Next up, maybe my greatest, or possibly one of my favourite pieces of vinyl ever. The You Made Me Realise EP, which I bought in 1988, I think. I just think it's just one of the greatest pieces of music ever. I mean, You Made Me Realise, the song, to me it's up there. Is incredible musical moments when I first heard it. But side 2 is fantastic. Well, Thorn, Cigarette in Your Bed, Drive It All Over Me. I mean, this might be, I think, My Bloody Valentine's greatest moment. I mean, I love Strawberry Wine by My Bloody Valentine, which came about a year before this, which is, I think, an utterly fantastic single. Isn't anything that came after this was brilliant. I've said my feelings on Loveless. If you do watch my previous video, I was never too caught up on Loveless. This is phenomenal, incredible. You Made Me Realise by My Bloody Valentine. I remember when I bought this, there were probably about 20 copies in Arm Price when I bought this. I wish I bloody bought them all, because I think this goes for over 100 quid now. I think some loons bought it for about 200, but yeah, due a reissue, but yeah, fantastic stuff. Next up, another absolute monster powerhouse EP, mini album, whatever you want to call it. Metal Circus by Who's Could Do. Some days, this might be my favourite ever Who's Could Do release. Spot on production, killing it. Crucially, this is the London, I think the London pressing. SST had an office in London for a little while, and I think this is one of the London pressings. And these SST UK pressings are friggin' amazing. They absolutely nail you to the, Bob Mould's guitar nails you to the wall. They sound incredible, and yeah, I mean this probably, again, it's got Who's Could Do's mixture of pop. You know, It's Not Funny Anymore, Grant Hart's one of his greatest pop moments. The more sort of thrashier stuff like Real World or First to the Last Cause. An amazing sort of mostly instrumental called Out on a Limb, which I absolutely love. Out on a Limb. I think it sounds fantastic. Spot's production is sort of fantastically awful, if that makes sense. I think he's such an oddball producer, Spot, and I love him. And yeah, incredible release, Metal Circus by Who's Could Do. Maybe they're greatest. It's the younger brother of New Day Rising, although I think this came before New Day Rising, didn't it? I've got a feeling. I always get a bit muddled up. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Next up, another. I've gone for a 7-inch here, but there's 4 songs on it. Possibly the most important record in my collection, being probably responsible for 90% of my record collection. Spiral Scratch by the Buzzcocks. The one record they cut with Howard DeVito, 4 tracks. The first, I think, one of the first punk records to come out on an indie label, New Hormones. Got to number 31 in the charts when they reissued this, which is amazing. But contains maybe the greatest punk song ever, Boredom. Just incredible boredom. It's everything I want in a record. It's absolutely phenomenal, and contains the incredible 2-note guitar solo, which no way could Eric Clapton play ever, which I think ends on a diminished 7th, I've been told. But Boredom by the Buzzcocks, I just think the greatest punk song ever. Just incredible. Says everything you want in punk. Punk, you know, people went on about anarchy, but then you used to look around and think, well, it doesn't feel like anarchy's happening here, but it did feel like we were all pretty bored in England in the late 70s. And just a brilliant song. So good that Orange Juice, when they did their top 10 hit, Rip It Up, that contained the line, my favourite ever song is Boredom. And then they replicated the 2-note solo in Rip It Up. So incredible song. I love Boredom by the Buzzcocks, but this is a great little EP as well. Fantastic. Next up, feel like I'm almost cheating here, because it's kind of an album, Minor Threat, but it's the first 2 EPs gathered together, and again, incredible. Not a huge fan of hardcore, got to be honest. This to me was the start, for me, it's a start and end really for that sort of boom bang hardcore, yelling into the mic, moaning about Reagan or the government or whatever. Although actually Minor Threat didn't do that too much, so it was more looking inward at society maybe. Incredible what they did with these sort of 1 minute 30 songs. The people say they're the Beatles of hardcore, but I don't know. I think the Beatles were the Minor Threat of pop, to be honest. But just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Knocked my head off when I first heard this, and still I dig it out occasionally, and it's still find it incredible. Minor Threat. It's the first 2 EPs on one sort of album. Absolutely cracking this. Next up, this is a beaut. Not a fan of shoegaze. This is Lush's first sort of EP. Contains 4 songs. The trouble with shoegaze, like bands like Chapter House, Slowdive and all that, it was all ethereal, but didn't really have any dynamics. But this is fantastic. Came out in 89. Contains Deluxe, the song Deluxe, which is I think the greatest shoegaze song. Because with Lush, they had sort of the pop dynamics going on. It was proper, decent, fantastic indie music, but with that sort of crystalline pop rush going on. And Deluxe is just absolutely cracking. But all of their songs on here are brilliant. Leaves me cold, downer, thought forms. I don't know how hard this is to find now, but came out on 4AD. Really, if you're into shoegaze or want to investigate shoegaze, this is the way to go. And quite honestly, this could have been the only shoegaze record for me. I could live without the rest of it, to be honest. I'm someone who doesn't call My Bloody Valentine shoegaze, by the way. I mean, shoegaze was a term coined by the English music press because all the bands had a million effects pedals, so spent the whole time just looking down at their feet, fiddling around with their effects pedals. That's how it got to be called shoegaze. But yeah, just incredible. Mad Love by Lush. I've just played this a minute ago, and it's absolutely fantastic stuff. Next up, New Order. Not their first 2, but they're 2 crucial EPs that sort of brought sort of indie dance or rock dance to the fore, including the amazing. I mean, people going about Blue Monday being crucial, and it is. Blue Monday, you know, I'm not the biggest Blue Monday fan, but it is an incredible tune. But this has got Everything's Gone Green on it, which probably is the moment where dance met rock in a proper way. Electronics met sort of rock dynamics, and Everything's Gone Green is incredible. But this has also got Temptation on it, and all the tracks on this are brilliant. I've got the 2 EPs, I think, singularly as well, but this collects both EPs. Fantastic listen. Probably better than their first album, Movement, really, which is kind of hard going, but in a similar vein. But yeah, superb stuff. The first, Factus, 1981, 1982 it's called. I think it's been re-released recently. Well worth getting. Fantastic stuff. This is an absolute beaut as well. Wire, Play Pop. it's a collection of maybe their poppier moments from the first three albums. Incredible track list, really. Low Down, Dot Dash, Mannequin, Map Reference, 45-1, 93 West. Then maybe the second greatest song to come out of punk or post-punk, Outdoor Miner. Outdoor Miner by Wire is just phenomenal. I love Outdoor Miner. And I Am the Fly and 1-2-X. I mean, that is a track listing. That is fantastic. And yeah, Wire Play Pop, just absolutely brilliant. If you can find this, get this. Although the first three albums are great as well, but I mean, this is brilliant. Absolutely cracking little mini album, this. And last up, Sonic Youth, Dirty Boots EP. Around the time of Goo, they signed to Geffen. It's got 6 tracks on it. 2 versions of Dirty Boots, a live one and an edit. But the live tracks in here are fantastic. An amazing version of White Cross, which absolutely batters the album version. And it's got an unreleased live track called The Bedroom, which is brilliant. A great version of Eric's Trip. The live stuff in here is fantastic. Well worth finding if you can get these. I don't know if any of these are still readily available or not, to be honest. I should have had a little on Discogs first. But yeah, great stuff. The Dirty Boots EP, Sonic Youth, well worth getting. Fantastic track list. So they're some of my favourite EPs, mini albums. Thanks for watching. I'm sure I'll be back soon. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye now.